So what is awakening? I mean, what does awakening mean to the mind? The only thing that awakens is the mind. It's an ego state mind. Now, what is ego state mind first? What is ego state mind? They call it the identity mind. Okay? But it is something far more subtle than just the identity mind. Ego is the bound mind. It is bound within its limitations. And its limitations are opposites. Okay? So the ego can only work. It can only understand. It can only react to an opposite. Opposites meaning happy, sad. So the ego mind is the one that says, I'm looking for happiness, which means it must be on the other side. Something other than happiness has to be looking for it. So we can assume that it's some sort of sadness, but it's not really sadness. It's just, I'm not content. Now, a very simple way of understanding the ego is through this I. I am happy. I am sad. I am man. I am woman. I am rich. I am poor. If you're looking for, I want to be wealthy, then you're not wealthy. You are the opposite of wealthy. Or you are in another zone of wealthy. Let's simplify things. Life is based on one. You cannot be two until you cannot be two from two. You have to be two from one. Yes? You cannot be the body and the mind until you are something prior to the body and the mind. So you are whatever you are as one, attaining some sort of dual path, the body and the mind. Happy, sad, pain, pleasure. Okay? The body can be in pain, the mind can be living its life in pleasure. The mind can be in pain. The body can appear as though it's in pleasure. That two has to return to one. And it's like the act of sex. How can we make one baby? We have to make it from two, man and woman, or male and female. Opposites make one. So awakening is when the two opposites decide, I can't go down that path anymore. There's no fruits at that path. And I'm definitely not going down that path because that's the path that the mind thinks is that satanic path. And the godly path bears no fruits. So I remove both paths. And I find that in-between path, that one path. So I began as one. I entered this world as two, as a body and a mind. I believe through my ego state, my identity I, that I am the body with a mind. Yeah? That's what we say. My mind. Meaning, the body is speaking about its mind. And we can even break up the body into parts. We can break up into names, identities, and that's all it is. The body cannot work without everything in place. It's like the car engine, like the bull and cart. Like that. The motor car will not start without the key. There's no use without the key. So the body is of no use without the brain. No use without the kidney. No use without the blood. So we are one whole body, one whole thing. So we don't want to break things down. That's the mistake of humanity. We break things down, we segment, we dissect, and we give more names, which creates more suffering for ego, more uncomfort, more distress. Because ego just wants a simplistic life. Isn't that true? Isn't ego classed as that lazy one? And it's living a reflective life of what is taking place. This is the most simplest thing to be here as a body and a mind. If you want to class yourself as two, as a body and a mind, a body with a mind, or one whole thing, it's the most simplest thing to be here. It's not the meaning just to exist. It's the most simplest thing to exist. You're not planning it. You're breathing on your own. You're thinking on your own. You're walking on your own. You're talking on your own. There's nothing to be planned or organized or how I talk today. If that's the case, that's an ego way of saying I need to be different today. I need to go down this path today. I'm giving a lecture based on young people, so I have to put my young suit on today. That's an egoistic way. Everything is one. You are one, appearing as two. You cannot be two without being one initially. It's impossible. You cannot just appear. There was a transition even inside your mother's womb. You didn't just suddenly waken up when the bum was smacked. You didn't waken up when the sperm entered the egg. You've never wakened up. You've always been a transition of consciousness, a transition of your own self, a transition of life. You are oneness, and developing an idea, a concept that you're two, a body with a mind. But the good news is, you go from 1 to 2, and you have the opportunity to go from 2 to 1. An awakening is when you go from 2 to 1. I'm not interested in searching for happiness. I'm not interested in any information. I'm not interested in what I've been told up to now. I'm denying everything. I'm not interested in my name. I'm not interested in the world. I'm not interested in enlightenment. I'm not interested in awakening. I'm not interested because any interest will take you to an opposing state. Interest has an opposite, non-interest. So are you going down that opposing state? Yes. You have to travel down both paths before awakening takes place. How do you know when awakening takes place? You have no control over your own awakening. Awakening is when something within, something higher, some almighty spirit, some almighty soul says, whoa, stop. What the hell are you doing? Going down this believing, systematic, society, good path. Stop, what are you doing? Why are you moving? Why are you searching? Why are you seeking? Whether it's physical seeking, whether it's mental seeking, spiritual seeking, scientific seeking, seeking for wealth, seeking for success, seeking to be a failure, seeking to be homeless, seeking for a new house. Why are you seeking? Everything is here for you. Why the need and the desire to want anything more than what you have? That's awakening. Stop. Questions. Why am I seeking? Exactly. Now your non-dual body is speaking to your individual singular body that you are. I have no mind now. I have no mind. I'm not interested in mind. It's negotiating with mind. But body really is exempt because mind is negotiating with itself, because now you are totally a believing system when you awaken that you are mind. because you have ignored the body, ignored the world, ignored forms. And now you're only dealing, mind is dealing with itself, is dealing with its own questions. Why am I seeking? Why am I trying? Why am I needing? Why am I wanting? Who is this I that is bugging me? It's a pure mind speaking to the ego saying, why are you bugging me? I don't need opposites. I know there is only one thing here, life. Life has no opposites. Ego says, yeah, death. No, life has no opposites. Death and birth are the opposites. Life is the middle state. Only life exists. Matters not what ego says. Ego says, yeah, but you are a human life. No, not this. You are a man. No, not this. Nati. These are thoughts. There's no one speaking to you. Your mind is speaking to itself. But something within that mind is denying it. And you are accepting the opposite of denying, of denial. It's a dehypnotize. Everything that I deny, I am accepting that I am denying. And then I deny that what accepts that what is denying. And then I accept that what is denying, that is accepting, that is denying. And then I deny that is accepting, that is denying, that is accepting, that is denying. And then and put you off now, you see, because it's hard work. It's hard work losing everything, denying everything that you have inherited, that you have gained. My mother and father's trust, my mother and father's education, my whole schooling. I'm denying everything then. Opposites mean I'm denying words, I'm denying language. Absolutely. One becomes two, and you can remain as two until the body is no more. And you'll have a farewell. That'll be a long time before you pass, because you'll have to go through this denial system before you pass. All you're doing is preparation for your next stage of your transcendence. Some call it death, but it's not. It's a new stage. It's a new transcendence. So when the body goes, there's a simple state of, wow, I'm gone. Okay, next. Not denying. Yeah? This can be done now. This is awakening when ego realizes it's been fooled into going down an two-pathway system. Happiness and bad. Or good and bad. Happiness, sad. Pain, pleasure. Rich, poor. Success, failure. It's not true. None of this is true. These are simple lessons into you attaining your oneness again. You cannot eliminate samsara life when you leave this body as two. Because you know you're leaving as one, but you're not, because you're still attached, associating with death, with birth, rebirth, with opposites. Awakening is simply the ego dying to itself. And what is reborn is exactly what Christ says. A new mind. A new, fresh, liberated, open mind that only accepts life in all forms. Meaning, I accept every form. Matters not what color, what breed, what size, what shape, what value, what judgment. One accepts it. One accepts everything as it is. Everything is okay. Everything is contentment. Everything is isness. Everything is pure. There's nothing else seen. There's no opposing values put on any form, any being, any human, any life. There's no comparisons, no preferences. Everything is one whole moment, one whole beautiful, paradisial, heavenly experience for the rest of the body life. Appearing as if it relates to opposites, just to pacify the others. I'm not a man. I'm not a woman. I'm life. And that's it.